So, guys, editor Reese, you may have heard me talk about him. We work together now twice a week. He comes to my house and he does the podcast. He'll do some main channel stuff. He often does a lot of the gamer channel videos now. Most of them, any podcast clips you might say, it's all Reese. He's making thumbnails, memes, does a lot of great editing for me. And I've realized we've been working together for maybe a year, but I guess because of COVID, in person, maybe for only 2 or 3 months. In that time, he is here for maybe 8 hours a day, some days, sometimes 9. If it's a long day, who knows? And I checked with Meg before I started recording the podcast. Reese might be a robot. We're not sure. We could not confirm or deny. There is evidence of him. There's a lot of evidence on the side of him being a robot and being some kind of AI in, some kind of like device maybe planted in my home by the government, kind of like a home pod to spy on you. But instead he shot into my emails and said he could edit some clips. There's a real potential that it's a genuine, like he could be a national security threat. He could. But there's also a little bit of evidence, a small, minute amount of evidence over the other side, which is perhaps he's human. Because once I saw him scratch his head. And that's the only evidence I have that he could be human. Other than that, everything leans towards robot. And I've never brought this up with him. So I'm currently talking about him behind his back. Don't worry, I'm going to call him right now just to clear things up. Here's my main bit of evidence before I call Reese, to just clear up if he's like real or a robot. I've never seen him piss. Ever. He's been coming to my house for weeks now, since COVID kind of wrapped up. The dude's never pissed. He's here for 9 hours a day. So at first I thought maybe he's just constantly dehydrated and has a great bladder, But he catches the train here. So I know he commutes for like over an hour to get here. So even when he rocks up at my house, he hasn't pissed for an hour unless he's pissing at the station. I have no idea. I'm assuming not. And then he'll go home and catch an hour home. So he will not piss for 12 hours straight. Maybe just has a strong bladder. I don't not have a bladder that is up to that level of capabilities at all. I'm nowhere near that. I'm pissing probably 3 or 4 times in that time span. I also drink a lot of water, and I've got a weak as literally piss bladder. I'm a tap. I'm not in that. I'm like a leaking faucet, pretty much. But then I go, okay, maybe just doesn't drink much. Recently, I've been kind of watching him. He'll have a drink bottle next to him. He'll be editing all day. And, mate, it's great for me, Because I ain't paying him to piss. All right? I'm paying him to fucking edit. I seriously, though, it's getting concerning. And he's never shat. He's never done a piss. But I see him consuming food and liquid all day. Where does it go? I'm assuming into some kind of engine or the oily sockets or who knows. But I'm gonna give him a call. So this is the first time you guys will probably have met Editor Reese. I have no idea if he's gonna pick up. Maybe he's been powered down for the day. Who knows? I'm not sure. Maybe he goes back to a factory. Maybe he's not even gonna pick up. We'll see. But currently about to call my editor just to get it all out there. And look, he can be honest with me. If he's a robot, it's not going to change my position. Okay? I'm still going to keep hiring him, and that's fine. But I just want to get to the bottom of it, pretty much. And for you guys as well, it's good to know if you have a robot kind of editing your podcast. Can't work out if it's a phone ringing or him communicating with his robot friends in Morse code.
Sorry I couldn't get to your call. Please leave your name and number and I'll get back to you shortly. Thank you.
Reese, what's up? It's Luke. Just calling you regarding if you're real or not. Anyway, See you Thursday. Call me back. Bit of a weird one to get from your boss in the middle of the day. Has anyone else's boss ever called them, just ever called them up middle of the day to ask them if they exist or not? Anyway, that's kind of the working relationship we have. We're cool with stuff like that. We just kind of like call each other up, like, are you breathing? Whatever. But I don't know if he's breathing, or maybe he's powered down for the day. Not sure. But guys, I put it this way, that doesn't bode well for him, does it? The evidence is stacking up and leaning towards robots. So, Reese, I'll give you a chance to defend yourself, perhaps next week on the podcast. Or maybe I should give him one of those online tests. You know when you kind of like log into a website and it will be like, are you a robot? And you've got to like, he's got to tell me which one contains a bicycle, which square contains a bicycle in it. And you've got to like click all the ones that have a part of the bicycle. Maybe that's the test. That's foolproof. Because if he's a robot, you know, that everyone knows that just stumps robots. Bicycle or bus stop or car related questions. Often just ticking a box will just throw off a robot, apparently. So, but it's odd that he can edit videos so proficiently, yet that would stump him. Anyway, guys, not sure what's happening. But, yeah. Good on him, though. Every robot's got to hold down his job. By the way, guys, Reese is a great editor, great guy. I'm not discriminating against robots here. I just want to know. It's good to know. I think it's one of those things. It's you want to get on top of it before it gets out of hand if you are employing a robot. That's all. And you guys will understand that.